Okay. Welcome back to Naruto Anime Re-Review Part 15. This one discussing 4 episodes this time, 2 standalone episodes, and 1 two-parter. Yeah. Oh boy, these episodes. Okay. The first one, believe it or not, is a completely pointless episode. What is the episode? Naruto has to babysit some rich guy's son who apparently is obsessed with money. Yep, and Naruto just can't stand the kid. Though apparently they do, they do reuse this plot thread for Barto, believe it or not. Though they did for like 1 chapter, but at least that was part of an actual story. This felt like it was nothing. And apparently this kid is immune to, apparently he's has suffered from many kidnappings because he's filthy rich. He throws his money around like crazy just to get his bodyguard attention. Yep. It's the very definition of a filler, this one. It's completely pointless. Aside from Naruto, the only characters in this episode who are regulars is Tsunade and Suzune. And they do pretty much nothing. Also, this kid's father is no old acquaintance of Tsunade. Because of course she is. Of course this guy is. As a matter of fact, in the very next episode, the client is an old friend of Tsunade. It's like, how many friends does she have? Jesus. Yep. Now, this one is actually a little bit more interesting than the last one. Yeah, these 4, the money one is probably by far one of the worst episodes in the entire series. This one's a little better. Mostly in the character development for Naruto, Hinata, and Kiba. Yeah, this is the second time this lineup has been around, though they also were involved with that bug mission, but they were Shino. Though they do in fact do another mission, I think like 1 or 2 missions after this one. Next time they do team up together is actually in a standalone episode, believe it or not. This one is them basically going on a mission to basically in a treasure hunt. Like if they fail at this, they'll go back Ninja Academy. Yep. So, yeah, they do a normal thing where they get lost. Now, like with the previous mission, the Gozokuki capture mission, this one has got no team leader. Nope, no team leader. And Naruto is completely clueless when it comes to reading a map. Well, that comes from another standalone episode of the series. Eventually, I think he lost multiple times. And of course, Hinata hanging out with Naruto most of the two-parter. And they do get captured. Though Naruto is very protective of Hinata in this one. There's some good Naruto Hinata moments in this one. Like, well, at one point they get captured by the actual client, who's got a bunch of copies posing as them. Then this really funny moment in like, okay, there's 2 Hinatas when they get captured, and they ask like, what's the name of Hinata's father? It says Hyuga. And then Naruto's like, not even I knew that. And then you see apparently an illusion of Heshi just frowning at the fact that he doesn't even know the name of Hinata's father. I thought this was hilarious, to say the least. Though prior to this mission, Naruto got freaking bored. Yeah, he was so bored. He had no missions. Dry wasn't back yet, so he didn't like training alone. So he wanted to go about find Sasuke. So he had to go to the park to apparently play a game of soccer against himself. Yes, a game of soccer. Kiba just happened to be wandering by doing training, and Nada was supposed to be training at home. Shino, of course, they mentioned he's off on that mission. Where the heck Sakura is never mentioned this two-parter. Well, she did show up briefly in the very next episode. So eventually, of course, they're captured at the end of the first half of this two-parter. So they eventually get freed, though they actually have Kiba and Naruto biting at the vines at Hinata's hands, and they have Akamaru basically trying to bite at the rope that's just underneath her breast. Yeah, no joke about that. The dog actually did that. Eventually he's free, and of course she eventually somehow is so thankful. She, of course, her head ends up on Naruto's shoulder, and then she faints. And then Kiba's like, "Why don't you just, Hinata? could you free us first, then faint? And she's like, okay. And then she frees them both, and then they get out of the cave pretty easily, thanks of course to her 64 Tricam. Oh yeah, and also the guy says he's going to wreck the village. So the imposter to the village, no problem. And Naruto tells him like, oh yeah, there's going to be attacking the village. And then of course, well, Nana, she of course was injured during the escape. So she stayed behind. She basically got there to hold pace, while Naruto and Kiba and Akamaru caught up with the imposters. Though the Naruto imposter, oh boy, Naruto can't freaking stand this guy. Like, he's about to hit Naruto, the fake Naruto protects her. Though Kiba knocks out his fake really easily. Though he chases the fake Naruto, and of course Naruto chases the fake Naruto, who tries to ruin interpretation by, first, running into Sakura. Yes, runs into Sakura. And apparently this fake Naruto had no idea who Sakura is. I mean, if he was Naruto, he would know who Sakura is. Yep, of course, then she sends him flying. Or she's the one like, how can you be there and then here? Don't worry, Sakura doesn't show up again after this point in the episode. She's actually absent also for the very next episode of the series. We'll talk about that in a minute. Then it spooks Anami, which eventually delivers the ramen. Of course, he also took a ton of big treasure chests they were sent to capture. Yeah, it has piece of paper inside of it, no money in it, there's a piece of paper in it. Don't worry, they reveal at the end of the episode what it is. And then, of course, start chasing around the fake Naruto, who ends up pretty much causing him to spend all of his money paying all these bills. And then, of course, he's like, oh crap, he better not have touched that. And he gets back to his house, he gets back to his apartment, and he ends up finding that the fake Naruto ate his ramen. So he goes to his angry mode. Something he did also in the previous arc, I forgot to mention that. Here he gets angry, so he basically gets angry and forms a 300 shutter clones. Then when he summons like a big, humongous tidal wave of smoke, and they end up searching the whole village. Eventually they find him, and when they do, of course, he comes right after he was going to charge Naruto more money. They're lucky enough to find him and beat the crap out of him, and well, they capture everybody. Oh yeah, and also, Kiba defeats the fake Hinata by basically saying, don't use those puppy dog eyes on me. They may fool Naruto, but not me. And of course, she falls over. Yep, and then of course, this whole thing was a test, and they passed. So they would not be sent back to Ninja Academy. And also, they did in fact get the treasures like they said they would. And what's that treasure chest? A bill. For the training. Yep. Oh yeah, and also the fakes basically say, oh yeah, the fakes are back normal in a couple of days. It's an okay two-parter. It's mostly good just for good character stuff for both Naruto, Hinata, and Kiba. It's good for that. And a couple good Naruto, Hinata moments. We even have not actually punching Naruto because she thinks he's the fake Naruto. And Kiba's like, it'd be strange if that was the real Naruto. And of course, that is the real Naruto. I thought that was kind of funny. Next one is called, Please, Mr. Postman. So basically, Naruto had just come back from a mission. He just saw across, looks like a postman. Turns out he's a delivery ninja. Yep, he's a delivery ninja. He delivers packages. Though he's able to help the postman, thanks to, of course, saving all of his mail. Though he insists on doing it. And he goes into town, where he just happens to run by sheer coincidence Jiraiya, making his first appearance in 35 episodes. Yep. So, they basically hang out together for an episode, do some training, and of course he's looking for a member of the Akatsuki. Who he's looking for, never revealed in this episode. Because, then Naruto writes up the rest of his novel, just so he can do some training with him. And then he realizes, though, that, oh crap, he handed out Naruto hands up his book. So, he had to get back, and of course they do track down the delivery ninja. But it turns out he was given the wrong envelope. He was given the envelope for a secret communique between the land of fangs and the land of claws. Claws and fangs, that's interesting. Yeah, and then of course they track down the actual ninja, where they get And of course, they have to race all the way to the Land of Fangs. Though they're also chased by a bunch of delivery ninja because apparently, if someone robs a delivery ninja, have everybody around the whole area basically just go after this one person. So they fight a bunch of them, and then of course the communique does get to the daimyo of the Land Claws, the Land of Fangs, excuse me. Though after they basically beat up all these people, Naruto uses this sexy harem jutsu, swimsuit jutsu, and try to track him down, and of course that doesn't work. And then of course, well, the Land of Fangs daimyo is like, ooh, is this a communique from the Land of Claws? Oh, it's the manuscript for the next novel. How did you know about my guilty pleasure? And of course well, Jiraiya's like, oh no, my reputation. Don't worry, it's perfectly fine in this episode. And well, they look like about to do more training, and then all of a sudden he apparently wakes up and Jiraiya is gone. Says, I'm gonna meet the Itachi member by myself. You can go home. And well, the episode ends with Naruto in of course he ends in a hot spring anyways, but it's an interesting episode, to say the least. I mean, it's a good introduction to the delivery ninja, which, as far as I can tell, they don't actually really appear again in the franchise. They do something similar to this with the Postman ninja in Boruto, but yeah, this is the only appearance I can think of. But yeah, not much else in these episodes. I would say out of all of them, I'd say the first one, the one about the money jutsu, that one's freaking terrible. Easy to skip that one. The Burial Gold one, that's one you don't have to necessarily skip this one, but it doesn't have really good plot to it. It does have good moments for Naruto, Hinata, and Kiba. And in the case of the standalone episode that comes after that, well, it's just a good character piece for both Naruto and Jiraiya. And I like the fact Naruto was the one chastising the old man. That I thought was quite hilarious. But yeah, not much else to say about these 4 episodes. They're bad to pretty good. I would say probably the best one is probably the Postman one. That was really fun to watch. It was kind of hilarious, let's say the least. So that's it for review, and that's probably gonna be a video today. So tomorrow, expect to hear another review for Naruto, the one for One Piece, Boruto, My Hero Academia, Blue Exorcist, and One Punch Man. We're probably about 6 videos tomorrow. Okay, this video. Bye.